Hey, today's episode is brought to you by Audible.com, and I feel like an official podcaster being able to say that. And this is perfect timing to go along with the Popcorn Finance 2018 reading challenge that I've been doing. If you wanted to check out any of the books that I've read so far, this is your opportunity to grab it for free. If you go to audibletrial.com/popcornfinance, and I'll put that in the show notes as well, you can get one ebook completely free and a 30-day free trial of Audible. One audiobook that I highly recommend is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, and he also narrates that book, and it's, I think, by far one of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to. So definitely recommend you check it out. You can get it for free if you go to audibletrial.com/popcornfinance. Hey, this is Chris. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Popcorn Finance, where we discuss finance in about the time it takes to make a bag of popcorn. You hear a little bit of noise in the background because we're recording live here on the floor of Podcast Movement in Philadelphia. And today, I'm joined by Mindy Jensen, Community Manager for BiggerPockets.com. How's it going, Mindy?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thanks for having me.
I'm really happy to have you here. I asked you to be here because I have a real estate question, and I'm not a real estate expert, and I knew how much you know, and I knew that you'd be the best person to come on and tackle this question. So I appreciate you coming in and helping out the listener.
I love real estate, so hit me.
All right. So I got an email from Holly Jacobson, and she says, hey, I'm 23 years old, just started her career with a great company. And, her and her boyfriend, who is 27, they're looking to buy a house, and they're, a little uncertain about getting a mortgage. They don't know what to expect. So she says here, they've always been renters, and can you help explain the basics of a mortgage and how it can affect their finances long-term and short-term?
Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you are getting a mortgage, when you're considering getting a mortgage, is contact a mortgage broker. A mortgage broker is slightly different than a lender in that they work for you. They're looking for the best loan for you. So they're going to shop around with all of the different lenders that they talk to and look for the best rate and financing terms and all of that for your specific situation. The higher your credit score is, the better rates and terms you're going to get. The lower your credit score is, the less opportunity you have to even get a loan. If your credit score is under 580, you're probably not going to get a loan from anybody. That's just a really low credit score, and you're going to need to work on that. Let's say that you have a lendable credit score.
Okay.
Go to Credit Karma or Credit Sesame and just get a very general idea of your credit score. Your lender is going to score it in a different way, but a 700 is different than a 400.
True.
So you can get an idea of your credit score. You contact your mortgage broker and you say, hey, I'm looking for a mortgage. I make X amount a year and my credit score is 700.
Oh, that's a great tip.
What sort of rate can I get? They'll tell you, oh, I'm seeing 4%, or right now it's like 4.75 or 5.25 or something like that. I haven't. Don't take that as gospel. I haven't quoted a mortgage lately, but they will give you an idea. You want to call around several mortgage brokers, and you don't want them to run your credit just yet because you're not ready to buy.
Okay, and why do you say that?
Because that can ding your credit. Every time, that's a hard inquiry. That is somebody pulling your credit score for the purpose of giving you a loan. And if you get a bunch of these all, spaced out, then each one of them dings your score.
Okay.
When you're ready to start looking for a mortgage seriously, you want to call up all the lenders within a week or 2 weeks. I like to say a week just so you don't forget. Call them all up and have them all pull your credit score. It used to ding you every single time, and now the credit scoring companies look at that as you're shopping around for a loan.
Okay.
So they'll count that all as one hard inquiry, and it dings your credit 5 points instead of 5 points times however many people you call.
That's a great tip. Because I don't think a lot of people know that at all.
A lot of people might not know that, but I'm a money nerd, so I know that kind of thing. So in the long term, you're actually building credit by having this revolving payment that you're making payments on every single month. This is assuming that you're making payments every single month. Your mortgage is due on the 1st and late on the 15th for almost every mortgage that's out there.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you're paying your mortgage on time. The bank will lend you money to buy your house, and then you pay it back in slow increments over the course of typically 15 or 30 years. There are 10-year mortgages out there. There are 20-year mortgages out there, but it's typically a 15 or a 30-year mortgage. The 15-year mortgage will have a lower interest rate than a 30-year mortgage because you're paying it off quicker. But you're paying it off quicker, so you're paying all that money back in a shorter amount of time. Your payment's going to be higher.
True. Okay, makes sense.
One thing I would like to recommend to Holly is that she find out what her maximum is and then don't spend that much. Because, and maybe even look at what her personal maximum is instead of her and her boyfriend together in case one of them loses their job.
Really like the idea of planning based off of one income because anything can happen. You know, I've seen so many times where, you know, it's not uncommon for one of the people in the relationship to lose their job. And if you were banking on both incomes just to make your mortgage, and what are you going to do? You're going to be in a really tough position.
Exactly. I would also, bonus tip, I would recommend contacting a local real estate agent who can help set you up to receive emailed listings so you can see what prices are. Of course, houses go for all sorts of prices, but in your area, is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house going for $100,000 or is it going for $500,000? You know, can you even afford what's out there at this time?
True, great point. Because the last thing you want to do is go out there with your hopes up high and then not even know what you're getting yourself into or what the home prices are. You're going to be very disappointed when you find out you can't afford something because you didn't research before.
Right, you can. But I think I totally support home ownership. I think it's a great idea as long as you are comfortably affording it.
Yeah. Great point. Well, Mindy, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in, sharing your knowledge. And Holly, I hope that answers your question. I feel satisfied with that answer. I feel like I've learned some things and some new tips and some stuff I hadn't even heard before. So really appreciate it, Mindy.
Chris, thanks for having me on. This was great.
Yeah. And, you know, for anyone who wants to keep up with you, learn more and get some more of that knowledge from you on the real estate market and home purchasing, where can they get in touch with you and learn more about what you're doing?
I am at biggerpockets.com. I am all over the internet. I'm on Twitter at Mindy at BP, MindyAtBP for Bigger Pockets. Same on Instagram and Facebook and all of those places. I also have my own personal finance podcast called Bigger Pockets Money.
Perfect. And I'll put a link to all of that in the show notes so they can check it out. Make it easy for them.
Thank you.
So thank you again. I appreciate it so much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. You do the same.
Hey, so thanks for listening to my conversation with Mindy Jensen from BiggerPockets.com. You can check out all of Mindy's tips by visiting popcornfinance.com/72, or you can go to the show notes and have a link in there as well, so that way you can get to it in case you're driving and you don't remember this URL that I'm just saying out loud right now. And, you know, also in the show notes, there's a link to something special that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. Because, you know, back when I was working on the Side Hustle series, I mentioned that I had started like a new little side hustle up of trying to design and sell shirts and do that type of thing. And, you know, when I started all that, I was hoping, my goal was to make a shirt just for this show. And so that's what I've done. I finally finished one up, and it was inspired by this man right here.
That boy keep it popping like Mary Poppins.
So yeah, it's a brand new shirt. I had a lot of fun putting it together. You can go to popcornfinance.com/shirts and you'll see it listed there. And the hope is, or my goal is, that I'll be putting out new shirts in the future as well. So just starting out with this one, and then, you know, have more out there as time goes along. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'd love to get your feedback. Let me know if you like the design, if you don't like it, if you have some ideas for some other ones I can do in the future. I'd love to make these into something that you all would like and actually would want to wear. So yeah, definitely need that feedback. And just to give you a heads up, next week I'll be joined by Amanda from Debt Free in Sunny, CA. She has an amazing debt story. Her and her husband paid off over $133,000 in debt, and they just recently became debt free. So it's an amazing story. She's very active in the debt free community, and her story, along with what she does there, has inspired a lot of people. So I hope that hearing her story will help you be inspired to move forward and take care of some of that debt that you've been sitting on. So yeah, definitely make sure you come back next week and check out that episode. I say it's every episode, so you know where to find me. You can go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just search for Popcorn Finance. You'll find me on there. And as always, I appreciate you joining me here for another bag of popcorn. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.